Hello and welcome back. This is Silent. In this video, I'm going to make a little slight beginner's guide in order to help new players know their role and how to play the role in Shinobi Strikers. Let's get started. Simply, for attack types, you always want to make sure that you're on the front lines. Whether you like it there or not, if you choose the type, you have to be on the front lines. Make sure you have offensive Jutsu and maybe some regular kunai if you're just starting out, so you can get used to the hang of fighting on the front lines. Attack types' main strength is their power and their speed. They are faster and stronger than every other type in the game, so you have to use that to your advantage. When attacking enemies, you have to be sure to go back and forth between opponents to make sure to keep them off your team as much as possible. If you do that, you'll be able to buy your heal type enough time to even heal you and your team. Simple jutsu you can use for offensive jutsu is mainly taijutsu. As you can see right now, I'm using taijutsu, and since I'm a little bit of a wild card, I got that acrobat technique to help me, get like that little extra bit of defense. It comes in handy, and changing up your playstyle won't hurt. You don't want to be an attack type that don't know how to actually fight properly, because then it won't end well for you or your team. You'll just get demolished. Now, the next type should be a little bit easier to explain since I mainly play that type. It's range type. For range types, the one thing you'll never want to do is just spam your triangle, because doing so, it won't really help you that much, and you won't really learn how to properly play the type. If you really want to learn how to properly play range type, you can just go into survival mode. Range type specialize in long distance jutsu, but that doesn't mean that they can't fight up close. You'll want to use that unpredictability that range types have in order to get the drop on your opponents. You can learn simple combos because the attack type and range type have similar attack power, but the attack type is still stronger. But range type has a wider variety of jutsu. You can even use some of their impact jutsu to get close. The triangle isn't meant to be spammed, but you can use it as a way to get closer to your opponent if necessary. The way you mainly play range type is by attacking from the rear and getting the drop on your opponents. You'll want to be another wild card on your team so that you and your team have a better chance at victory. You'll never want to be on the sidelines, because then when push comes to shove, you'll never be close enough to actually save your team if necessary. Range types need to be able to be across the battlefield all at once in order to either support the attack type or come back and help the defense type. You'll always want to, you have to be in multiple places at once and always with your team at the same time in order to become a true range type. Now, the next type that I'll be talking about is fairly simple to the range type when it comes to being in, a wild card, but how should I put this? It's like you're a tank. Well, yeah, it's tank class, but it's like you have to be tanky, but at the same time, you have to know when to fall back and when to go forward. That is the defense type class. For the defense type class, your main priority is healing your team, no matter what you do. Hold up, my bad, wrong class. Defense type, the main priority is not, you do have heals, but your main priority is to protect your team. Defense type has a wide variety of jutsu that they can use to protect their team, such as sand shields, such as needle jizo, rotation, subterranean, even Uchiha flame formation. Here's a little tip for the new players. If you find yourself in a tight spot and you have flame formation activated, you can use it. It basically blocks the first hit of all ultimates. And here's another tip. If your teammate gets caught inside of a planetary devastation and you're actually close enough to them, you can use flame formation to actually save them from that hit. Because instead of your teammate getting hit by the planetary devastation that they're already in, it'll count the flame formation as taking that first hit. Defense type's main priority is defense, but don't forget to also protect your healer when necessary. If you see someone attacking the healer, be sure to actually go back, protect the healer, and get rid of enemies. You'll want to be able to do that so that way you'll be able to keep getting healed and your healer won't die off so easily. And speaking of healers, which that slight mistake I made earlier with my speech, don't mind that. For the heal class, the main thing you'll really want to do as healer is heal. But that doesn't mean that you can't really fight up close. For the healers, yes, healing is priority, but that doesn't mean that you can't fight with chakra scalpel, with shadow stitching. Healers have a bunch of supportive ninjutsu that can buff them and their team, such as lighten border jutsu or heavy border jutsu. You'll want to use these to help your team get the advantage in the drop on opponents when necessary. If you know how to use the heal class properly, you'll be able to win every match, as long as you stay by the defense type. As long as you stay by the defense type, you should be fine. Healers can also prioritize attack if necessary. If you're a skilled enough healer, you can actually run 2 offensive jutsu, 1 heal, and be able to still heal your team. If you're not confident, then there's no need. Best bet is to run most likely a heal tag, a regular heal, and I say run heavy boulder, because heavy boulder will boost your defense, so you'll be able to survive longer. Well, besides that, the only last tip that I have to give out will be this. Utilize your ninja tools the right way. Use the ninja tools that best fit your playstyle. If you're better at using kunai to do switch ups with attack type, use kunai. If you use paper bombs for traps as defense type, use those. If you use the Demon 1 Shuriken in order to gain some distance between you and your opponent so you can get the drop better for range types, then do that. By putting all this stuff together, you'll be able to actually increase your level of skill in Shinobi Strikers, and well, you'll basically be sort of unkillable. Not to mention, with each type comes a different style of play, also different jutsu. Be sure to use your jutsu, find jutsu that fit your play style, and play. That's all I have to say. Hope you enjoyed this little video on the tutorial beginner's guide on how to play each role and my tips and tricks to how you play. Hope you enjoyed the video.
Let's 次も頑張りましょう。